Very good morning, Jai Shri Krishna Guru. Thank you for joining Sai Satcharita Parayan. I wish you all a very happy Guruvar. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Datatre Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Sai Satcharita, the life and teachings of Shirdi, Sai Baba. We'll continue from where we stopped yesterday, chapter 43, Niryan of Shri Sainath continued. My obeisance to Shri Ganesh, to Shri Saraswati and Shri Guru Maharaj, to the family deity, to Shri Sita Ramachandra. My most humble obeisance. I bow in reverence to the most venerable Guru, Shri Sainath. So we stopped at verse 112. Now let us continue from 113. And is that why you grew tired of us and have gone behind the curtain? Oh, how could death strike us such a hard blow? So where we stopped was what happened the moment Baba left the body and dissolved in the Parabrahman. And what did the people feel, his devotees, his disciples? How did Shirdi react? That is what we learned yesterday. Now let us further continue and understand what are the pangs and the pains that his devotees and disciples felt. You seem to have become wary of dinning into our heads till your throat parched and I was showing complete disinterest in what you said. This is something so very true. When the great masters are with you and you have the privilege to study under the tutelage of such a great guru, you need to listen to what your guru is teaching and live those words. If not, there is no point. My Krishna Guruji, in every satsang of his, even yesterday's Das Bodh satsang, you have to go listen to him. And in that, he says very clearly, I am withdrawing myself from everything. I have had it enough. I don't even have one student who can stand these lessons. Nobody wants to live what I am teaching. Everybody is interested in their material worldly gains, pains, sufferings, wants, desires, endlessly. Somebody wants to get married, somebody wants a job, somebody wants a child, somebody wants something. So the desires are endless. They are not interested in spiritual wheel at all. Yeah, people come to my Guruji, they live with him for some time and then go away, go back into their material world. So this is what is happening. This is what has happened. So my Guruji is saying, what use is me having to teach the same thing a million and a billion and a trillion times if nobody is interested in their spiritual wheel? Why should I even teach? So I'm withdrawing myself. This is what my Krishna Guruji is saying. Exactly how Baba also felt. His throat is parched. My Guruji teaches morning till evening, endlessly, serving selflessly and imparting this most esoteric knowledge. But not a single soul is able to imbibe that. Everybody is given to their ego, arrogance, whatever you may want to say. Everybody is living in their own world. Nobody wants to be spiritual. The word goodness itself has gone out of the window. There is no love among people. Everybody wants to, get to each other's throat. They want to kill each other. They want to throttle them. That's the kind of attitude, that's the kind of feeling we have. There is no goodness, there's no compassion, there's no kindness. There is no love for one another in this world anymore. We are just living in the world as though we are, in transaction with people. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. This is how the world has come into existence right now. So being thus offended with us, you forgot all your earlier love for us. Or maybe our association from previous births has come to an end today. Or perhaps the milk of your divine love has dried up. Had it been known that you would go away so quickly, it would have been so much better. At least the people would have remained more alert from the start. See, this is afterthought. What is the point in now going through this regret and trying to, feel remorse? There is no point. When the Divine Master is there with you, you are not valuing that. What is the point in telling, oh, had we known that you will be going away so fast? What does it mean? How stupid is that? What kind of an attitude are people talking here? No, that's not what it is. When you have him with you, why are you not living? My Krishna Guruji asked me something very important. He said, today, I am here to tell you, I am here to remind you that you need to become more disciplined, right? But he's saying, tomorrow I am gone. Then who's going to point out to you? Are you not going to go back in your muck? No. If I do that, and then I'm sorry, I am doing disservice to my Gurudev. I am doing disservice to everything that he has taught me. If I fail to live his lessons, there is no point in me having been, studying under his tutelage for 12 plus years and not being able to live what he's teaching. It's shame on me. It doesn't reflect badly on my Guruji. My Guruji is the greatest one. He's the Lord Almighty. There is nobody who's like him. And we are all very privileged to, studying under his tutelage, under his guidance, under his wing. He's the mother, that Krishna Ma, who takes care of everybody and imparts that beautiful knowledge. But if we give into our, deceit and self-conceit and not want to do it, it is not his loss, it is our loss. So he asked me this question: what happens if I'm physically not there? Then are you going to go back in your, same old indisciplined manner, indisciplined behaviors? No. I would never want to do that. And if I did, then it's my failure, not my Gurudev's. So this means when I am in presence of him or when he's there in front of us, we need to be able to show that effort. And if you're not putting that effort to live those lessons, vain is everything that he has taught. Had it been known that we finished this. But we were all indolent, filled with sloth and languor. We sat idle. Absolutely true. With the result, we got cheated in the end. Our being there or not being there was all the same. We became disloyal to the Guru and did nothing in time. Had we even sat still, it would have been something, but we did not do even that. This is so true. You must understand what is being said here. We became disloyal to the Guru and did nothing in time. See, the most important thing is, how do you be loyal in service to your Gurudev? The only thing he is asking for is, please live everything that I am asking you to do. Live those lessons that I am teaching you. Don't waste your time. Time is precious. Time is the essence of Lord Shri Krishna himself. Time is Lord Almighty. When you disrespect time, time is not going to be there for you. So please know that if you don't respect time today, time is never going to be on your side ever. So do everything in time. This is a very important lesson here. And we became disloyal to you, to the Guru. Never become disloyal. You have to be the loyal servant of your Gurudev. That is the only spiritual wheel that you can attain. And had we even sat still, what does it mean? Sitting in silence. At least if you had done that, you would have attained something. But you have not even did that. You have not even done that. So he's saying here, it would have been something. But we did not even do that. So you have not done anything. We were like a sloth bear. So what are you talking about? You were a tamasic person? You were all living a tamasic life? That is exactly what it comes to at the end of the day. Please remember, this is way back in time. The same lessons are being repeated even now. There is no difference back then and back now. And now to the fall in the gutter is very fast because we are in so much the tamasic yuga and we are hurtling very fast towards the destruction. So rise. It is now. The time is now. So rise and do something with your life. We would travel long distances to go to Shirdi, only to engage in idle, empty talk. Oh my God, this is very important again. Totally forgetting that we were at a holy place. We would behave even there just as we pleased. This is very, very important. We would travel long distances to go to Shirdi, only to engage in idle, empty talk. What does it mean? My Krishna Guruji, yesterday's satsang, you must go listen to Das both from 4:30 to 5:30. Please go, it is on there. The live video is there on Krishna Knows. You must listen. In that, my Krishna Guruji is saying, people come and talk to me. Oh, my father is sick. My father said this. This happened to my boss in the office. I had a bad day. I had a good day. Oh, you know what? Should I do this? Should I not do this? What should I do with the electricity is not working. The plumber didn't come. The cable fellow didn't come. My TV is not working. My mother is sick. This is happening. That is happening. This is what we think the Guruji is there that we go talk this nonsense. I'm not saying I have not done this. I'm telling you, during early years in my own spiritual path, many a time I would forget and say things to him that's not relevant. He is only my spiritual guru. Please understand, he is only our spiritual master. He doesn't have to know anything what is happening in our personal and material worldly life. It is for us to live our life. I think we are capable people. God has given us that intellect. We must use it and do what is necessary in our life. For every petty thing, we don't have to go to the guru. And who is this guru we are talking to? He's the God Almighty. And what are we trying to talk to him? Petty things. This is exactly what is meant. Idle talk. Oh, we are going to talk about somebody. My Guruji will always say, the moment I say something about someone, he'll say, first he'll ask me one question. You know what he'll ask? He'll say, is there your progress in this whole discussion that you're having with me? And if it's there, then please continue. Otherwise, let's discuss which will help you progress in your life. That is what is important. He'll say, never talk, anything in vain. Don't waste that precious time with your Guru Dev talking nonsensical stuff. Oh, I have a headache, I have body ache. My Guruji will sometimes point out, first thing in the morning, it's the human nature, it's a mind's nature. You need to understand. The first thing it will say is, oh, how bad, it has a headache, how bad you were not able to sleep, how bad a day it is. The moment you wake up itself, why is the negative? Wake up with the goodness in your heart. Wake up with the name of the divine Lord. Wake up and say, what is that I want to do today in my life? No, we are all like, why are we waking up? Oh, it's such a dull day. Oh my God, I don't want to wake up to this world. Why? Because it's all in your mind. You can't control your mind. This is what my Guruji says. You can't be disciplined. There is no consistency in anyone. This is true because today we are into this tamasic yuga. We are so much, given to inertia, lethargy. You name it. Indiscipline, procrastination. The list is endless. Forget about that. Goodness, that one word, we don't even stand. We're filled with evil propensities. There is anger, hatred, avarice. How do you think you're going to ever attain God? Lord Shri Krishna is only attainable with love and devotion, with goodness in your heart. Only when you're following the righteous path as prescribed by him, as taught by him, the way of life, Bhagavad Gita. And if you don't live, how are you ever going to attain the divine? And yesterday, my Guruji was saying this very beautifully. He said, Lord Shri Krishna is never going to reveal himself to anybody. The word Krishna means secret, unknown. Even the greatest of the saints and the sages and the wise men have not been able to understand the divine Lord Almighty. Without the Lord's grace, nobody can. And so to that he said, there is nobody today who's deserving to whom I can confer this grace. So what makes you think you will even stand up to that? Forget about even attaining Lord Krishna. Can you even at least be good, your good self? That is the far, it's quite far. Because you have to put so much effort. I asked my Krishna Guruji, why do you say that it's so difficult to attain Lord Shri Krishna? He said, today nobody wants to put that kind of effort in attaining him. He's not going to come to you so easy. People think it's like, something which is given to you on a platter. Just because you think you live with Lord Shri Krishna or you know him, you can attain him. No, it doesn't matter. The Lord might be staying with you, yet you can't see him. You cannot even recognize him. He will appear to you as an ordinary human being. That is his Maya. That is all you will be able to see. But you can't understand the divine, for which you have to wear yourself out. Are you ready for it? We don't want to put effort. Sadhana, zero. My Krishna Guruji will always say, zero sadhana. We are not doing one single thing to attain the divine. Then what makes you think you're spiritual? Don't even call yourself spiritual. Today there is nobody who has that sincerity to walk that path. So this is what we have reached. So don't waste this precious time that you get with your Guruji by talking nonsensical stuff. And this goes for everybody, including me. Sometimes we forget, we talk all the frivolous stuff. We don't have to. The master doesn't have to, he's not interested in knowing what's happening in your life. Did you fight? Did you say something? Didn't do something? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your breath. They use that every single God-given precious time to ask questions, to evolve on the path of spiritual. He is waiting, he's sitting there and waiting, wondering, when will you wake up? It's so sad. It is really unfortunate. It's how we disregard and disrespect such a great divine Guru, who's the Lord himself. We don't value him at all. Had we even sat, okay, we finished this. Totally forgetting that we were at a holy place, we would travel long distances to go to Shirdi, only to engage in idle, empty talk. Totally forgetting that we were at a holy place, we would behave. Even there, just as we pleased. Oh yeah, people come to this ashram and people come and talk all nonsensical stuff. They will come bring their job. They will come and talk about, oh, how difficult their boss is. Everybody's only talking that. Where are you asking a spiritual question? You are coming to meet the divine Lord Almighty, the Guru, who is there to impart the knowledge. He's not, he's not a consultant. And if people think that, oh, he can offer jobs, he's not running a HR consultancy for you. Neither he's running healthcare. Actually, my Guruji very nicely explained, in one of the satsangs, he said, people come to me, somebody's son is sick, somebody's mother is sick, somebody's sick, and they come, what do you think? I'm running a healthcare hospital, is it here? Go to the doctor. If your father is sick or mother is sick, go take them to the doctor. That is all is going to be my answer. Why are you coming to me? Why are you telling somebody is sick or somebody is not doing well, somebody doesn't have a job? I'm not running a consultancy, HR consultancy. Neither I am a counselor here for your personal problems. I have a problem with my wife, I have a problem with my son. What is this? So please understand, when you meet the Divine Master, ask about your spiritual will. Ask question that is going to help you progress in your spiritual path. Don't come and talk frivolous stuff here. He's not sitting here to listen to your rubbish, egoistic stuff and not about your personal life. He's not even interested. He doesn't care. All he cares is about spirituality alone. Take the name of the Lord. Sing his praises. Sing his glories. How sweet is that? Instead, you're wasting his time. And forget about that. Tomorrow he's gone. Then who are you going to go to? You'll go to some temple where there is no God. You'll go and pray some idol. That is where you're going to achieve, worship. You have to watch a very beautiful movie. Yesterday, my Guruji said there's a very nice movie called, in Tamil, it's called Mookuthi Amman. It exactly talks about these things. What are people interested? You must go watch this movie. I hope something will enter your dud brain. You must go watch. And in that it says, this person, the goddess says, go and, I'm not going to give you the story, but I'm just going to gist of it. Go and watch the movie for yourself. In that the goddess says, she says this person who, has the sincerity and he seeks her. So she is visible to him. So to him she says, go and ask all these people around. He's a media person. So she says, ask from them, why do they go to temple? And he conducts a survey. And when he goes and asks around, people say, I go to temple because I want money, I want job. I go to temple because that is the cheapest place I can take my family around. I don't have to spend money. And there's another person saying, I don't even go to temple, I don't have the time. And somebody's saying, yeah, I go out of fear. And there's this little girl, the small girl, they say, yeah, we need to go to temple. That means it shows we are good people. Can you believe the reasons given? It was endless. I was appalled. But this is the world today. This is the reality and this is the truth. That is the only reason why people go to temple. They are not going to seek God. They are not saying, God, I want to just, say thank you to you. I've come here to say how beautiful you are. I just have come to see you. Nobody says that. I've just come to ask you, how are you doing? Have you ever asked God, how are you doing? What is it we can offer you? No. We go with big begging bowl saying, what is that we want? And, we keep filling it and it's a bottomless pit. It's very, again, that's a very interesting scene. So the goddess ask for a boon, and this person, he rattles off everything that he wants. You know why? And she was aghast. How did you ask things so perfectly? He says, since 4th standard, I have practiced. If a ghost or a god comes and stands in front of me, I should be able to rattle off everything that I want. So I have mugged up whatever the wish list, and then I'm able to say exactly what I want. And then she grants him everything. So he's amazed. He's just so carried away that he has got everything that he had aspired in his life. And then he again goes back to her. And when his fate was confirmed in her, the divinity, the goddess, then she says, okay, now you have to make me famous. I'm not going to give you the whole story, but you must go watch this movie. I'm just giving you an essence of it. And then she then comes with him. He says, okay, I will listen to what you want. And finally, when they are entering the same house, he's taken for a shock. Whatever he had visioned and whatever she had granted, everything has vanished. And that time the goddess says something. He asked, why did you take away everything that you gave me? So to which she answers, what is the answer she gives? She gives, when you didn't have faith, you had all of the material worldly stuff. But when you have faith in me, now you will not have the material worldly stuff with you because you believed in me. So everything is gone. That is the truth. Can people understand? Nobody understands. People think, oh, when I go to Sai Baba's temple, they only want to see miracles. Why do you think they go to Shirdi? Do you think they care about Baba? They go to wanting Baba? No. They go with their begging bowl. Baba, grant me this. Baba, grant me that. Yesterday I was talking to one of the ardent devotees of Sai Baba, and she said how she's very disappointed where she kind of posts all these videos so that people can listen. She says, I have not come across even one person who spends this 1 hour to listen to the satsang, the Satcharita. Okay, they are not even making an effort to study, but at least they can listen. Today nobody has the patience to listen. That is what she was saying. Everybody wants to experience miracle. And in this movie, again, this is another very interesting point that they have brought out. She says, why do you think temples are famous? Because they want miracles. People are expecting miracle. So what does she do? She, from the anthill, she makes milk automatically come out. So the whole crowd, everybody's like, oh, this is a miracle happening. Oh, there is really the power of goddess over there. And everybody flocked to that place. And that is how it becomes famous. She's saying, do you think gods are here sitting to do miracle? Oh my God, you must go understand. This is for educated fools like us today, who forget about people who are uneducated. They have their own belief system. But at least those educated, have to think logically. What does it mean? And this is a very, very important movie. I must say this, in many, many years, in decades, this is something I have not come across a movie like this. This is very brilliant. And similar movies there in a Hindi, it's called Oh My God. You have to again go watch. It's about Lord Shri Krishna and his ways. It's very beautiful. These are all thought-provoking. Why do you think they're giving in this movie format or a story format? So that the world can understand. The world is so much blindly heading towards their downfall. They're not caring about the spiritual wheel at all. This is exactly what Baba is saying. Why do you think the divinity is going to be there? They understand you are just a fragile human being. You are never going to straighten yourself out because you're the dog's tail who doesn't ever want to straighten and who want to live in that material worldly muck. So, totally forgetting that we are at a holy place, we would behave even there just as we pleased. And people want to think that they have a gossip with the Guruji, or they want to talk about all kind of nonsensical topics. And they think that, Guruji, sitting in presence of Guruji, I have some direct access. No access, boss. You're not going to get any access. You can't even understand who he is. You think what he's going to give you some, just because you think you have his connect and a direct number, you're going to get something? Of course not. There is a criteria to be in spiritual. And this is what we have been learning. And first become deserving. You are not going to get anything simply by listening. Yesterday, my Guruji said a very powerful thing. You know what he said? He said today, when you are in the presence of a Guruji, you don't want to learn. So what makes you think just by listening to satsangs you're learning? At least that is a way. Yes, because you're sitting there very attentive, focusing and learning online. But today, when my Guruji says, look, I am here, I am available, come and meet me, talk to me, I will answer your spiritual questions so that you can progress. But nobody has the time to come and meet him to go, to seek that spiritual knowledge. Second, they send him lengthy message. This is what they say. Yesterday even on a separate note, even in the material world, today people just WhatsApp. I feel WhatsApp is waste of time because I'm spending so much effort trying to send a message. It's much more efficient to pick up a phone and call. And he says, my Guruji says, they send a lengthy message asking questions. He says, I don't even respond. You think you're going to understand something? And I don't even want to waste time. I am sitting here. You need to come and have this one-on-one conversation to get that knowledge. It is not so easy to get spiritual knowledge through all these modes. Why do you think in the olden times, with all the disciples and the devotees, would go to Gurukul and learn living with the Guru? Because that is the only way to attain that spiritual knowledge, not any other way. There is no other way. You can't sit in some other country or you can't sit somewhere else and send messages and have that, little discussions. It's never going to happen. You cannot evolve. Yes, the Guruji is there. He's going to instruct you and you have to do your job. And that is how the progress happens. So when you have the opportunity and go meet the master, why are you wasting time sending a message or trying to have a call? That's exactly what he taught yesterday. And today in our material world as well, it's becoming highly inefficient to get the work done. What used to be very easy, when we meet a person or when we just walk to a person's desk in the office, we can get things done much faster. It was highly efficient. Today, working online, work from home, there is no work happening at all. Like what my Guruji says, it's not hard work, it's hardly work. And I don't know what calls. People are busy on calls throughout the day. What calls? What is that you're contributing? My Krishna Guruji will always ask this one question to me. What is that how much productive work have you done? What is your work? When I say doing meetings is my work, he'll say, really? No, you have not worked really. And that is how he says, I don't understand what today's work means. In those days, we used to work really hard. We have to go meet the people. We would do everything ourselves. But today, even though everything is given to you on platter, you still feel, oh, I am tired. I've worked so much hard. I'm working. Oh my God, I have so many calls. What calls? You're not even attentive in that call. And then what are you doing? So this is the question you need to ask yourself. Wake up now. Do something with your life. Don't waste this God-given precious life, becoming a sloth bear. There were devotees of different types. Some jnani, some egoistic, some simple and faithful. While some others inquisitive. But looking to their real self, Baba treated them all as same. For to differentiate between more or less, he knew not. See, the Guruji will treat everybody in the same manner, samabhav, but he knows what to give to each one. Okay, like Shri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa ji has said in Gospel of Shri Ramakrishna. In that he said something very powerful. He says the Guru is like the mother, the greatest mother, who knows what to feed each child. To some she makes fish pulao, to some she makes fish curry, to some she makes a fish fry. What is that palatable to each one? She will offer that. Similarly, the Guru assesses you. Once he assesses you, he will give you that knowledge which is palatable to you, and you will progress on that path. It's not so easy. Only the Guru knows how to do this. So don't waste the time of the Guru. Value that Guru. When you have this grace, that when you have the presence of him, use the time to evolve on your spiritual path. Don't try and come and talk rubbish with him. He saw only God and nothing else in the world, such being his outlook. He did not consider himself as separate or different. Absolutely. He only saw God in everybody. See, he understood this is human nature which is fragile. He did not see anyone separate than him. He saw everybody as one alone. So seeing God in everything and everybody is extremely important. He did not discriminate anybody. He did not differentiate anybody. He saw everybody in the same equal eyes. The devotees themselves are God, and the Guru is not different from them either. It is when they both forget the true self that both consider each other as being separate. Of course, this is a very profound truth. To get to this is not so easy. What is being said here? The devotees themselves are God, and the Guru is not different from them either. It is when they both forget the true self that both consider each other as being separate. What happens is when we say God realization, or when we realize ourselves, the self-realization is nothing but to understand that you are the divine being. And when you understand this truth, you become one with your Gurudev. There is no separation between you and him. But when you see him different and you are different, then this understanding is not happened yet. That is why it says Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. The Guru will give you that grace to realize yourself. And when the time is right, when you have evolved on that path, but also understand you cannot say you're greater than your Guru, or you cannot have that ego of saying I am one with my Guru. Yes, even though there is no difference between my Guruji and his master, but my Guruji will still worship his Gurudev. That is the highest respect you have to give. Your Gurudev is always Gurudev. That relationship cannot ever go away. No matter what Brahmanyana you attained or not. Your Guru is the highest at all times. Similarly, even like we were talking about Shivaji Maharaj. Like my Guruji has given so many different stories about him. Though he himself is a highly evolved being, but yet for him, his Gurudev was the highest. He kept his path because of the Gurudev on the throne, and he ruled the country for him. I mean the kingdom, the Maratha kingdom for him. Similarly, we have to understand that when you have the Guru with you, the Guru is always the greatest. You cannot ever become equal to him. His place, he is the Sadguru. So understand, nobody is equal to him, no matter what realization you can attain. Yet you need to show that humility and humbleness unto him at all times. This is a very important lesson. Even though you might have realized God, whatever that might be the case, but your guru is always higher than you. In fact, we ourselves are God, but when the true self is forgotten, it forms the main characteristics of this separateness, and this itself is the fall. Yes, see, most important is you understand you are that divine self yourself. But that doesn't mean that you can say I am greater than my guru, or I'm one with my guru. Yeah, oneness has to be experienced, but with the bhav of having that little ego. Your my guru is always the highest, and I am always his devotee and a disciple. Never should get that ego. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa ji has always very nicely explained in the Gospel of Ramakrishna. He says in that you need to retain that little ego. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa retained that little ego because you know why? He want to experience and love Kalima. So you need to retain that little bit of ego. You don't want to become one, and then there is no separation. Even if you become that one, that little ego is very important to experience that love. And as a humble devotee, or whatever that you want to experience with that divinity of yours, and especially with your Guruji, he is the Guru. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. There is no greater God than Guru. The Guru is the Lord Almighty himself. Please understand, Guru is greater than any God. So this is an extremely important lesson for you to understand. Always retain that little ego, in realizing that your Guru is always the highest. He is higher than any God of this world. Lord Shri Krishna himself has said this. I am the very self of the Guru. And those disciples and devotees who have surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Guru, I touch the feet of such devotees and disciples. Such is my conviction. Please understand the importance and significance of the Master in your life. The sovereign dreams that he is begging for alms from door to door, but when he wakes up to reality, he sees himself in the same position as before. Whatever one is doing in the waking state ceases to be as one enters the dreaming state. But the real awakening comes with one's own experience of merging totally into the Brahman and his creation. Absolutely. God realization is the only real experience. That is the real awakening. And that awakening can only be granted by the Lord, the Guru himself, which is Moksha Moolam Gurur Krupam. Without the Guru's grace, you can never have the God realization. Please understand this truth. Baba dearly loved all who sought refuge at his feet, whether jnani or ignorant. To him, they were nearer than even his own self, and he made not the slightest difference between them. Absolutely. Baba loved dearly all who sought refuge at his feet, whether jnani or ignorant. See, to him, everybody is equal. He understands they're all in their own ignorant world. They're all, whether they call themselves jnani, they're ignorant being, it doesn't matter. But what did he see in all of them? The God himself, the self itself. That is the greatness of this divine master. He doesn't look at a body. What he sees is very different. And yesterday I was giving an example about how my Guruji, when he went to Alandi, he was able to see and witness, the discourse and, there was an exposition and they were discussing about a great spiritual subject between Jnaneshwar Maharaj and Tukaram. So both were the saints, both were from different period. Yet they were sitting there and having this discourse. But who has the grace to see? My Guruji could see them. Why? Because he's a divine being. He's the pure self himself. And he's not contaminated by anything. He's the purest being that is there. So only to him, these great saints can be, or gods will be visible, not to anybody else. Because we are using our senses to see them. My Guruji is not the body, not the senses, not the mind. He is the universal self. So only he can see all of the saints and sages. And that is why he was saying, I want to travel alone. Reason being, if you all come, then they will not reveal themselves to me. So I want to see them. I want to visit them. That is the truth. And we are all crass human beings. We have a long way to journey to get to that. So what the divine master sees when anybody comes in front of him is not the body. He sees the divinity in them. That is why he cannot differentiate between a jnani or an ignorant being. Why? Because he's seeing God in everything. To him, they were nearer than even his own self, and he made not the slightest difference between them. He was God in human form, and although he had given them personal experience of this, the devotees were completely taken in by his tender affection for them. See, Baba also has given this experience. He was God in human form, and although he had given them personal experience of this, the devotees were completely taken in by his tender affection for them. To some, he gave wealth, to some, children and a happy family life, but they were deluded by all these and thus lost the chance of attaining knowledge. Exactly what we discussed in the beginning. In this movie, that's why I was telling you, have to go watch this movie. In that, she grants everything, initially to this person because he asked for a boon. And once he gets it, he gets very excited. Then he goes back. Why? Because then he believes in the God, the goddess, and says, yes, of course, now I believe you are really there. And the next time when he goes back, everything is taken away. So she said, the moment you have faith in me, then I'm going to take away all that, because that is a distraction. You cannot attain God when you have all this material worldly wealth. Maya around you, the lust and greed. With that, you can never attain God. So she took away everything. And then he was working to make her great. So the world can know this divinity. When he sometimes laughed and joked with someone, that person would swell with pride that he alone enjoyed Baba's unique love, which Baba never displayed towards others. Again, please don't misunderstand this, okay? It is the way how the gurus behave. There is a reason why they do some things. It is only to, please you or humor you. My Krishna Guruji will always say, I do certain things only to humor people. It's they think, oh, this because of them, my Guruji is accepting certain things. It's only to humor people he'll accept it. But in reality, he has nothing to any of this. Whether, he's talking to somebody, he's in that moment. He just do what is necessary at that moment in time, and he's not even there. That is who my Guruji is. That is how these great masters are. But you know what we think? Oh, Baba loves me more than anybody else. Pride. Come on, with pride you cannot attain divinity. Don't ever think like that. Even as we fight with each other thus regarding his favor, which Baba never even dreamt of, in vain we were cheated out of our own will and forgot our duty. Absolutely. When you think and behave like this, Baba is not even thinking like that. He is just there in the moment. What is required at that moment, he just says and walks away. He's not even thinking like that, but your mind is an idiotic mind who thinks all the nonsensical stuff and swelled with pride. And what happens? In the end, you've forgotten your own spiritual will and your duty. And you're getting lost in what happened. He's only there in that moment. My Krishna Guruji will always say, if you ask him what happened or what he said later, after he has said something, he'll say when, what. He doesn't even remember any of those. It's just the words are, whatever the words are required, it comes out of his mouth at that moment in time. And once he goes back, he doesn't remember that. He's not dwelling into it. There is no mind. So he's living in the moment. It is about living in the here and the now. And he doesn't dwell like us. Oh, we'll go back and think and dwell. Oh, what did Guruji say? Why did he say he behaved like this? Whose mind is working, overworking? It is our mind. Shut up your mind and shut up your mouth. That is the most important sadhana we all need to do. As soon as we arrived, we would take Baba's darshan, offering him fruit and flower. But when he asked for dakshina, we would falter and would not stay there any longer. Oh, here comes the real test. When Baba asked for dakshina, we would falter. Oh my God, I am tired of discussing this Guru Dakshina bit. Okay, we have discussed this at length in chapter called Brahmanyana and few other chapters. And I don't think I want to repeat this. See, Guru Dakshina, you need to understand. Till you don't offer Guru Dakshina, no spiritual heal you're going to get. There is a reason why the Gurus take Guru Dakshina. Now, there is no free lunch even in God's heaven. You please need to understand. When he is giving you this knowledge, you need to give him that Dakshina. And if you don't give him, no knowledge will enter you, number one. Secondly, he's taking your karmas. And what is the Guru going to do with your money you're giving him? You think he's going to build some palace, is it? Of course not. You know what he does? He will keep it with him. The moment next minute somebody walks to him, he'll just take that and give it to those who are in need. He doesn't even think twice. He doesn't want your money. What can you give to the master of this universe, one who owns this entire universe? You can't give anything. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa ji said, what can you offer to the God who owns this entire garden? You're plucking few flowers from his own garden and giving to him. And what kind of a moron are you? You can't be such a stupid person thinking like that. Oh, I am giving dakshina to the guru, or I am giving dakshina to the God. You cannot give anything. Understand, in one of the satsangs, my Krishna Guruji has said, especially I think the Uddhav Gita satsang, in that he said very clearly, Lord Shri Krishna says, please remember, whatever that you have, I am the one who grants all of this, whether it is your job, whether it is your family, whether it is your life. And what do you think? You own it? Of course not. You don't own anything. Everything is given by me. So don't ever have this pride and ego thinking, I am working very hard. I am earning this money. Oh, this is mine. That is mine. What are you trying to possess? It is me who has blessed you with all of this. So be very grateful and don't ever take credit that you are doing something. You are only the servant in the hands of the Lord. You are only the mere tool in his hand. You're a mere tool in his hands. Become that puppet and let the puppeteer drive your life. You talked to us about things that were beneficial for us, but on seeing our mean, petty attitude, me things, you became sad and quickly went away to your eternal abode. Absolutely true. This is the Satya. This is Param Satya. You know what is it being said? You talk to us about things that are beneficial to us. The Guruji always says very beautiful things. He only talks about our spiritual being, which is good for us and what we think. But on seeing our mean, petty attitude. What's the petty attitude? Why should I give him? He is going to give that money to somebody else. Who do you think you are to give anything to anybody? You are nobody. Please understand. The Guru is, showing mercy on you by accepting whatever you offer to him. That is his greatness. He is taking away your karmas. And please understand, you are not doing any favor to the Gurus when you offer Guru Dakshina. On the contrary, he is doing you a favor, a big favor. And don't show your meanness. When the Gurus see such kind of behavior, I'm sure, you know what happens? You become sad. They become very sad. They see how petty human beings have become. It's very unfortunate that they don't even understand what I am speaking. The Gurujis here are there to say, grant you that spiritual will. On the contrary, you get on with petty things in life and forget your own being. And so what happens then? They say, okay, I am ready to go now. This world doesn't need me anymore. These people are never going to, change. And then he leaves that mortal body and goes back and becomes one with the Parabrahman once again. He goes back. And who's losing the opportunity? You are losing the opportunity. Please understand. Sorry. When Lord Shri Krishna died, the day he died and he merged, he left the mortal coil. You know what happened? That is the day Kali Yuga started. The goodness from this world went away. The love went away. Everything went away. The world was filled with Kali Yuga. Everything was unrighteousness. There was no righteousness at all. What happens? Lord imparts all the knowledge. But do we live? We don't live. We read till we do the satsang. Yeah, we are conducive and we are listening. Oh, we're thinking about it. But once we finish this text, the scripture, we close it, then we are back into our life. Full, 70mm movies, 70mm screen is there, and then the whole day we are lost in that Maya. That is what happens to us. Wake up now. Don't lose this opportunity, saying Baba. Such great beings are very rare to find in today's day and age, especially in this Kali Yuga. Don't waste your life. And then what happens? They go off to their eternal abode. For them, they don't matter. They know that they have to keep coming again and again because idiots like us don't learn ever. We are always going to, falter and falter and falter, give into our ego, self-conceit, mind, body, attachment to the body, attachment to the material world, running after desires. That is what we care about. Wake up. Understand the purpose of this human birth. Rise above to attain your spiritual will. That is the highest purpose why you have got this human birth. Don't lose that. Don't lose sight of that. But now, can these eyes ever see you again in that wonderful self-absorbed state? Gone indeed is that joy incarnate, lost to us forever, having disappeared for our several births. But now, can these eyes ever see you again in that wonderful self-absorbed state? No, you cannot. It's only going to remain in your memories. It's just going to be there. We'll take some photos and we'll go back and look at the photos and then regret. What you will be left with is called regret. You cannot ever again get that back. So don't waste your opportunity. Don't waste your life. Gone indeed is the joy incarnate, lost to us forever, having disappeared for our several births. Alas, for our terrible karma, we have lost our truest friend, Sai, so near at hand than he had been. A selfless, compassionate one like him has today become a stranger to us. Absolutely. See, the divine masters are there in their spirit form, but yet they're not there in the physical form. We never valued them. That is what is the truth. That is what is the reality. Alas for our terrible karma. And we keep performing the sins. My Guruji will always say, be your good self, be your good self, be your good self. Why do we have to get angry? We don't have to. There is no need. Let people do what they want to. This is one lesson that he has been drilling even into my head. I had, in a very simple example, when somebody says something or somebody does something, my Guruji will say always one very important lesson. He says, they are all behaving because they are given to their nature. You understand the spirituality. Don't fall for that. Don't get angry. There is no need to let them do what they have to, because they are all under their karma. Their karma is driving them to perform those actions. And you can't stop. And they are given to their human nature. They are not spiritual, you are spiritual. Those who are listening to this satsang, those who are getting this knowledge, please understand. Even if you understand 1% of what I am speaking here, then you will evolve in your life. That is exactly what my Guruji teaches. These are not the words from my wisdom, it is his wisdom alone. And this is the supreme truth, this is the gospel truth. We have to rise to understand what is our. He'll say, know what is hit for you. What is your wheel? You need to understand. Don't get carried away with people, what they say, what do they say. They are all speaking through their mind. And mind itself is such a, it's a mind of all the nonsensical stuff. It's always filled with all the evil thoughts and evil propensities. Why do you harbor them? Why do you nurture them? Don't fuel it further. Remove all that evil propensities and fill with the name of the divine. Let there be the beautiful garden of all the fragrant flowers which can be offered to the God. Let it bloom over there. That is what you have to make it. And that effort is yours. And making your mind that beautiful garden from which the flowers can be offered to the divine is in your hands. It's not in anybody else's hands. It is not good to harass anyone. It makes me ill. But we never heed these words of Baba and went on quarreling just as we pleased. This is very true. It is not good to harass anyone. Please understand. Whether somebody is good or bad, it's none of you to make the judgment. And when we speak bad about others, it hurts the divine masters because they take that karma on themselves so that you don't get into any sin, and that makes them ill. It makes me ill. Very true. Like my Krishna Guruji suffers. But we never heeded these words of Baba and went on quarreling just as we pleased. We troubled the devotees and the non-devotees too. And in the bargain, we have now lost Sainath. Oh, how we regret it now as we remember his words. Very true. My Guruji will always say, so you want to live your life in regret? You don't want to do anything that I'm saying you to do when I am alive? Which is true. What is he asking? Is he asking you for any wealth? No, he's just asking you to be your good self. It doesn't matter. Why are you getting into fights? Why are you to say bad things about anybody? Let the world be what they want to. It is none of our business to change anyone. It is we have to only focus on our spiritual being. We have to become godly. We have to become goodliness. It's very important. This word my Guruji coined. Being goodly is very important. Being with love is very important. Let the world do what they want to. My Guruji, no matter what anybody does, he is never going to utter a single word. I'll tell you one very important lesson here. His universe is going to give it back to them. in its own way, at its own time. Please understand, my Guruji doesn't even have to lift the finger and he will forgive everybody. But know this one thing, the universe doesn't forgive. Everybody has to get their lesson and it will come at its right time. But my Guruji will always forgive people. He's that great God Almighty. His goodness, epitome of the goodness, which doesn't exist in this universe. Nobody has that kind of love for people. Maharaj had told the devotees that I will manifest myself among the people as a child of 8 years. These are the words of a saint and no one should regard them as futile. Shri Vishnu had done the same when he took the avatar of Lord Shri Krishna. The radiant 8-year-old figure of Krishna with weapons in his 4 hands had appeared before Mother Devaki in the prison. The purpose was to ease the burden of sinners on this earth. Here it is to uplift the poor, meek devotees. So why should we entertain doubts in our mind? For the leelas of saints are inconceivable, absolutely. They come with a purpose. They come to establish dharma. They come to uplift the devotees. It's only for the upliftment of this entire universe they come, for the well-being. They care about their devotees' upliftment and they manifest in the form to do that. And what happens in return? They have to face a lot of hardships, difficulties, everything. And we are such ungrateful creatures. Become grateful, at least now. Wake up. And is this the resolution of just one birth? No, indeed, it is the close association of the devotees for 72 generations. So Baba said in the course of conversation, and the devotees felt sure in their minds that tying the bonds of love in this way, Baba has just gone on a journey and will come back again. Many had actual darshan, though to most he appeared in a vision. Quite a few were secretly given supernatural experiences. To those without faith, he is invisible. To the faithful devotees, he appears wherever they may be. As their natural inclination, so is their actual experiences. Absolutely. As is your faith, so are your experiences. In the Chavdi, his presence is invisible. In the mosque, it is in the form of Brahman. In the Samadhi Mandir, in a state of Samadhi, where everywhere else, it is as joy incarnate. But at present, the devotees should keep a firm faith in their hearts that there is no impediment to the presence of Sai Samarth and that he dwells here forever without destruction. The gods go to their own abodes, but the saints attain the Brahman here itself. They know no going or coming as they are merged into eternal bliss. Hence, bowing respectfully, I make this one humble request to all, old and young alike, to which please listen with reverence. May we always have the company of those who enjoy an excellent reputation and feel a selfless love towards the Guru. May we cherish a keen desire to describe the virtues of our Guru and thus nurture a pure, loving devotion towards him. May we develop for him a lasting devotion and may the bond of our friendship never be snapped, so that the devotees enjoy peace and happiness day and night at the Guru's feet. And so later, Baba's disciples and all the people of the village began to consider as to what should be fitting done with his body. Srimant Butti was a very devout soul who, as if as a memorial to his future event, had already built a most spacious, beautiful vada. Then, for the next 36 hours, they debated as to where the corpse should be placed, though that which was destined to happen came to pass in the end. One said the Hindus should not be allowed even to touch the corpse. Let us take it ceremoniously to the Mohammedan cemetery. Another said that the corpse should be kept in the open. Let us build a beautiful tomb where it should remain forever. Even Kushal Chand and Amir Shakkar thought the same, but let this body rest in the Vada were Baba's words. See, even after he's dying, people are trying to say some he is a Muslim, some are saying he's a Hindu. What kind of human beings you are? Worse than animals. Absolutely. There is no regard of goodness at all. They want to fight over his dead body. Oh my God. But Baba knows what is right. Baba had already predicted it. Baba had already informed what needs to be done. Such were his words, and it was very, very clear. But human beings are human beings, I said, right? They are dog's tail. They will never want to change. Patil Ramachandra was, however, very resolute. He was also one of the village officers and Baba's loving devotee. He said to the villagers, "Whatever may be your thoughts, they are not acceptable to us at all. Sai should not be kept even for a moment outside the Wada or anywhere else." The Hindus, according to their religion, and the Muslims, according to theirs, debated the whole night as to what would be proper and what not. Here, in his house, as Lakshman Mama lay asleep in the early hours of the morning, Baba appeared in his dream and holding his hand said, "Come, come, get up quickly. Bapu Sahib will not come today, for he thinks I am dead. So, at least you perform my early morning puja and aarti." Getting up at once, Lakshman Mama arrived at the appropriate time, carrying puja articles, as was his daily practice, thus presenting himself for performing the puja. He was the Gram Joshi of Shirdi and maternal uncle to Madhav Rao, who performed Baba's puja every day in the morning. Mama was scrupulously exact in the discharge of all religiously enjoined acts and words. After taking a bath in the morning and putting a clean, washed clothes, he would take Baba's darshan. He would then wash Baba's feet, apply sandalwood paste and consecrated rice, offer tulsi leaves, flowers, etc. And after waving lights, burning incense and offering naivedya, he would offer dakshina in the end. Then prostrating in obeisance with prayers, he would take Baba's blessing and thereafter offer prasad and apply sandalwood paste on the foreheads of all. He would then go away. Thence, he would go to offer puja to Ganesh, Shanidev, Shankar, Maruti, who was the son of Anjani. Thus, this Gram Joshi performed the puja of all the village deities every day. Now, very lovingly, he offered puja with all proper rites to that corpse. Mama was already a devout soul, and to add to it, he had a vision. So he came with ingredients for the Kakad Aarti at dawn, in hand and prostrated before it in obeisance. We are at the end of the, okay, I'll take additional 5 more minutes. We can finish this chapter. Removing the covering on the face, he gazed at it affectionately. Then washing the feet and hands and giving him achman, water for sipping, he performed all the ritual of puja. The Maulavi and other Muslim objected to his touching the body, but without paying attention to them, Mama applied the sandalwood paste and performed the entire puja. The corpse was that of Shri Sai Satcharita, his chosen deity. Not even in dream would Mama ever think whether it was the corpse of a Hindu or a Muslim. When that most revered form was alive, so grand was the puja ceremony. And even when the same had become a corpse, the puja ceremony would not become a mere formality. Moreover, seeing Baba in that state, Mama was already filled with grief and had come to perform the puja for the last time, as his darshan would no longer be possible anymore. His eyes filled with tears, and he could not even bear to look at him. The hands and legs trembled, and his mind became sad and dejected. However, opening his tightly closed fist, Mama put in it pan and dakshina, and covering up the corpse as before, Mama then went away. Later on, Bapu Sahib Jo performed the noon aarti of Sai in the mosque as usual, along with others. And now, the description of what happened after this will be given in the next chapter. How the funeral rites, according to Hindu religion, were performed on Baba's body in a very spacious place. How the breaking of his favorite brick, his companion of many years, foretold the inauspicious event of his Niryan. How it would have been a great calamity had what happened 32 years ago, when he went into Nirvikalpa Samadhi. How at that time the devotee Malsapati guarded Baba day and night, and how when everybody had given up hope, Baba revived quite unexpectedly. Such a Yogacharya who practiced celibacy till death and was the greatest among the jnanis. Who can describe his glory? Of course, nobody can. He whose greatness is such, let us bow to him with good thoughts and feelings. This poor Hemant surrenders to him with single-minded devotion. Will be to all. Here ends the 43rd chapter of Shri Sai Satcharita called Niryan of Shri Sainath, continued as inspired by the saints and the virtuous and composed by his devotees, Hemant. Thank you so much. Once again, wishing you all a very happy Thursday. Thank you for joining Sai Satcharita Parayan. See you all tomorrow morning at the same time. Om Shri Mahaganapati.